Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back wherever you're watching from, whether it's here in London or around the world. It's time to kick off the FACEIT Global Summit. My name's Toffees. I'm joined by Matchroom and Paper Thin, our dynamic casting duo. And the reason they're here is we've got a special start for us today. It is the Showmatch. Now, this is going to be a little more casual. I think it's maybe get comfortable, undo the ties, relax a little bit, and we're going to have some fun with this one. So sit back. I think we got some great people playing along with us. Matchroom, as you looked at the list of players today, who are you most excited to watch?
All right, so we got a lot of fun things that are going on. We got some comedians that are going to be playing inside this and getting paired up with Avenger, so I'm going to be enjoying watching them potentially die because I believe that we have some money on the line if you kill them. But my question is going to be, how sweaty do you think that OMG is going to play this?
I mean, I'm really curious to see how serious some of these teams will take it. You know, you've got ENCE, the Brazilian Crusaders, a couple others coming in. So you can take a look at the format right now.
The Sunday Roast Showmatch. Players, talents, influencers. Doesn't matter who you are, you're playing with one person who's got your back. It is duos, baby, in 2 games. Game 1, you win $8,000 to go along with a crispy chicken dinner. Game 2, also $8 grand. Each kill's worth $100. Each kill on a banana player, and I'll explain that to you in just a second, is worth $1,000. And the last kill, if you can get it, Matchroom, with a nade, a molly, or a melee weapon, is $3,000. And of course, if somebody runs the board, and I hear Uba and Fuzzface are playing today, and gets more than 10 kills, that's a $4,000 bonus.
I gotta be honest, I love the fact that we have Molotovs and melee weapons as a special bonus, because there's nothing I love more than Viking funerals whenever you just drop the Molotov on somebody and just watch them burn to death. I don't know, it's just fun to watch them run around panicked for that moment.
Yeah, it's definitely really fun. I want to see a melee kill. I want to see a melee last kill. Somebody pulls that pan out and just starts going to town. That would be really fun.
Absolutely. I mean, it's that chase at the end. And I think we're going to see a lot of hijinks in here. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's talk banana suits for a second. Yeah. You saw that on the graphic. Long story short, Martin has a partner named Steve. Steve is a comedian and also has probably one of the best names in history. They're going to be wearing yellow costumes and running around trying to take everyone out. If they get killed, that's a fat $1,000 per guy. So expect things like when the yellow suit jumps out of the plane to see everyone chasing him.
I may have been a little bit mean to our friend Martin earlier and reminded Steve that there is friendly fire. And we'll have to see how that goes down, because I was like, if you can manage to surprise Avenger at different points, I might be a little bit amused by this. I'm willing to bet a lot of the audience could be as well.
Yeah, could we just get him in a real banana suit while he's playing as well? Right. And then on the desk, you and Kailaris and him, all banana suits? I'd be fine with that.
I feel like it was short-sighted that we didn't actually have that thought ahead of time. We're going to be jumping out of the plane onto Sandhawk in just a couple of minutes here. Gentlemen, I know that you've probably played plenty of Sandhawk in your time. How do you feel about Sandhawk duos and the first time we sort of have gotten to see it here at this event?
All right, Sandhawk on duos. That's the way you should play. Whenever you start dealing with a lot of squads, it gets a little bit chaotic. But that being said, it's just a fun map. Specifically, whenever you deal with fun rounds like this, that's what you want to do. This is like the go-to map for any show match, in my opinion.
So these are our banana boys right here. I want you to look at the picture. Marcus Bronzy, Dane Baptiste, Steve McNeil, and of course, Avenger. It's kind of, when you talk about like 3 big stars and then him, it's kind of a letdown.
I like how even in his picture, Avenger looks like he's afraid right now. Like, oh God, what's about to happen to me?
He's looking away. I will also say that the 3 gentlemen on the left are playing on gamepads. For all of you Xbox, PlayStation advocates out there who do love playing PUBG on a different platform, these guys got your back. They're going to bring those gamepads out. And then, of course, Avenger, he refused to do it that way because he's old-fashioned. He's got to go keyboard and mouse. But hey, let's check in with Cyanide and see how these guys are doing today. Cyanide, how you doing today? I think he's deep in thought. Let's try one more time. Cyanide, how are you doing today? Doesn't seem like we can get through to him. Fair enough.
I think they're back there discussing strategies because it's Cyanide and Tweeday together today, right?
Yep. No, that's what my producer just said. He said they took their headsets off because they're so deep in strategy. They actually are actively plotting to take Martin down and Avenger and the boys aggressively. I saw them in the hotel lobby last night, and they were discussing specifically how to make Avenger look as ridiculous as possible during the game.
Yeah, I think you just got to look for those bananas and go for him. I mean, Avengers, you know, he's a good player. I'll give him a little bit. I'll give him a little bit of that. But there's going to be a lot of people gunning for him. So, and I'm curious to see how Stevie does.
I'm kind of surprised that we have Tweeday and Cyanide playing together. Sure, they stream together a lot, but in almost every single one of these streamer events, they play against each other. And they're known for having a high amount of banter back and forth. I'm curious if that's going to carry over into the match and if they're just going to talk trash to each other the whole time.
I mean, I hope so, and hopefully we'll be able to broadcast some of the team speak or something like that to get part of it. I mean, Matcham, you have a lot of experience with sort of broadcasting these influencer events. What was your biggest takeaway during your time during that Royale that you got a chance to do with some of the other guys?
I would say embrace the fun. That's kind of the key factor inside of this, because the streamers, that's kind of their thing. They want to put on a fun show. So like whenever we look at people like Whitey Dude or any of that other stuff, don't be surprised if you see, like we've been watching high-level competitive play. These guys are going to be like, hey, I'm willing to bet I can jump inside of a buggy and try to spray down that other guy.
Or get in a vehicle with someone else and try to do some hijinks that way. I mean, I'm curious to see Scoom. We've been hearing a lot of him on Twitter about the nades. So how does he feel about that? Is he going to just start flinging nades over the place, or is he going to take the other approach and use a gun?
Will he man up and do a protest of some sort where he doesn't touch a grenade and sticks to the good old-fashioned smoke system? We got some of the teams that were eliminated, like ENTS, OMG, the Brazilian Crusaders. They're all going to be playing here, as well as the influencers. But that said, it's about time for us to get this party started. They're getting ready to drop in. Sandhawk is going to be the first map, and the plane is in the air. Guys, let's talk Sandhawk.
I mean, it's Sandhawk to get started with. We got a pretty friendly plane. That means you can go anywhere you want to on this map. A lot of people are already dropping out. You can see Wookie Bookie down there towards the bottom. Keep in mind, we do have a lot of the teams that did not make it into the grand final in this. So are they going to play it for fun, or are they going to try to prove a point inside of these rounds is a big question for me.
All I know about Sandhawk, Paper Thin, is one must drop boot camp. Is that what you think you're going to see here today?
Oh yeah, we've already got some members of OMG and others going down into boot camp. So it looks like there's going to be at least 3 or 4 different teams. It looks like they're the celebrities we've got on our screen here. We got Steve McNeil, Marcus Bronzy, and others. And there's like a lot of action going boot camp, which is how it should be on Sandhawk.
I mean, it's either got to be Boot Camp or Paradise Resort. You guys keep talking about Boot Camp. Paradise Resort is my fun de facto drop. And looks like we're going to have OMG making their push over towards there. But, Marcus, he's looking back down towards Steve. And that's one of the Brazilian Crusaders already down. That's no good.
Yeah, it looked like a VSS kill there for a member of AW7 onto the Brazilian Crusaders. Scoom already getting things going too.
And that's going to be Dane Baptiste going down, so Scoom picking himself up a little bit of money to work around there. But we also got BB coming alive, taking some shots over at AW7.
You know, VSS, underrated drop weapon. That auto mode where you can pump out 10 bullets super fast without even scoping in, I think it's underrated in these drop fights. So good pickup for those guys, good start. Remember, we are playing on competitive settings here on Sandhawk, guys. So it's going to be fast circles, big loot spawns, increased loot spawns actually, and lots of guns for lots and lots of explosiveness.
You can always tell whenever we come over to the controller players, because they like walk up and they're like, button, 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 try to pick up. You can get the door, you can get the door. He almost had it open there.
Looks a little slower than we're used to in PUBG when it's like, all right, there's a lot of stuff on the ground. Usually it just disappears in an instant. It's like a magic act where they just like pick up the cloth and boom, the weapons and items are gone.
Now, I will remind everybody, since this is a streamer event, the universal sign of we're going to have some fun is pulling out the pan and waving it like 2 to 3 times. That's like saying, hey, put away your gun, let's try to do this. But now it all becomes a matter of honor if we see one of those come up.
Yeah, I wonder if we should have given a briefing sheet to sort of the non-endemic visitors that we're having here. We got a couple of these local celebrities who thought it'd be really fun to try this out. And I'm really happy to have them here, but I think they might just shoot anybody who pulls a pan out.
Which would be hilarious in that regards. But we can see we got our TSM boys hanging out over here. That's going to be Break and Rory right in the thick of it. We've got on the other side of it, it's going to be Scoom, and off to the north is going to be our OMG players.
Yeah, it looks like we've got Spreezy and Tweeday as well in there. So this is, it's been a little bit of a spicy boot camp. Scoom got a couple kills in there, but so far these guys have been playing pretty safe.
We got Break holding the angle, very aware of where Scoom's at, just waiting to see how this plays out. I really want to follow through with this on whether or not Scoom is going to use grenades, because I feel if you're going to go that feisty on Twitter about grenades and you turn around and use them here, you're just falling into the trap. You got to make a statement, Scoom.
Well, he's got an SKS there. Break here with the M24, looking to see if he can find a shot onto Scoom. Scoom so far as he takes a little bit of damage there from Danik.
Gotta be careful with this. Break's kind of playing the backside of this, waiting for the rest of the teammate. We got Rory that's trying to find an angle back onto this. Naturally, we're on Sandhawk. Right now we're looking around the boot camp area, so got them right inside the circle, so no real push that we have to worry about that. Most of the players actually did drop over towards the east, so that's going to be a little bit of a rotation that's going to have to come through, and some nice shots coming out from Orek.
Orek catches Wish off, and he's got to turn around and run away. The shots are coming back in, and it's going to be a 1-for-1. That's what you want on Sandhawk. If you can match them, you want to be looking for that trade.
You can see that we still have a little bit of Chinese audience that's showing up here whenever they get the shots back over from Crystal Luster. Pretty excited about that one, but now we've got Crystal Luster holding down one part of the circle, but they really have one part of the map. They have a long cross that they have to make, though.
Yeah, and Lakawi is not a place I personally like to drop very much on Sandhawk. It is such an exposed position. It is nothing but hills around you. There isn't a ton of cover, so but Crystal Luster able to get a trade there, so we'll see how that pans out for them. And OMG here might run into the Brazilian Crusaders. I'm sorry, that's BB. This is the Bluebies. This is a Japanese team.
Taking a couple of shots over there, just instantly walks up, and they destroy the BBs.
Brazilian needs to change his name. We can't have a Brazilian team in a Brazilian.
I know, that keeps throwing me off so badly here. But all right, we got Cyanide, Edinburgh making their push up to the top of this hill, but they've got an easy for ends player right back behind him. You can see it's going to be Squeaky. On the other side of him, we do have Silent as well. So I got to say, Cyanide, you're in a little bit of a rough place to play, but I love it. Bringing out the VSS.
Cyanide was silenced during the pregame interview. He's silenced now as he pulls out that VSS and pushes himself downhill, doing some scouting. They're on top of boot camp looking down. That's a good way to make some money, paper thin. Camp where you know they are, so you get the free cash when they leave.
Yeah, here you go. Traffelli getting a Venger and getting the kill, getting some money for himself here. Now he's looking to get Steve McNeil his way. He gets the shot into Steve. Steve trying to get away in that truck, but it's so slow and he finishes him off.
So now we got Rustamar picking up himself a couple of bucks outside of that, since he's going to be taking down our money de facto duo there. So still rotations coming in very slow in comparison to what we were seeing in competitive map. Again, this is kind of fun. Everybody's getting caught in these little side skirmishes here. You can see the replay down in the bottom left. That's Rustamar just destroying them down there with some nice shots.
Yeah, Cyanide here with my personal favorite gun. Let's see if he can catch these members of OMG with it. He is pushing ahead. The VSS is so silent. It is so quiet. It is so hard to hear where it's coming from. That's my favorite thing about it, especially in duos. You can just shoot whatever, pretty much, and nobody has any idea where the bullets are coming from.
And it gives it some strength on this map, because that's one of the things about how you play on Sandhawk. Everybody third parties all the time. You've got these hills, you've got all these little sneaky angles that you can play on. So running around with a silent weapon is kind of the next level strategy, as long as you can hit the shots, because sometimes it feels like you could take the bullets out of a VSS and throw them at an enemy and they move faster.
I think the big key of Sandhawk is silence saves lives, because it's a third-party capital of the world. So if you can kill someone with a VSS, they can't turn around. But here's Rari going down on the bridge. Silent BT going for the right side peak. There's the headshot from Cyanide. Nice one, baby.
Yeah, Break has to drop down below the bridge. Edberg here now trying to find some shots with OMG, but Jalhai turns right on him.
So now we got Cyanide, the last guy up. He's got the VSS. No good angles to work with right now. You can see Break did survive as well. Jumped down into the waters, just trying to get away from the situation. Spreezy, though, looking on the other side of it, trying to take the shots back over towards Break. Very aware of where he is at. So everybody's just trying to reset a little bit, try to get a little bit of distance, trying to get a little bit of health.
Spreezy seeing if he could connect with that M24. Just a little bit of health left there for Break, so if he just lands anything, that'll be it for Break. Winner, in the meantime, getting the last member of the Brazilian Crusaders. Well, one of the duos for the Brazilian Crusaders.
And a res on Edberg, too. That's a nice play coming up from Cyanide.
I think it's funny that our pro teams are actually going after each other. It's almost like they chose to leave the streamers alone and finish some old grudge matches and get them out of the way. So we'll keep an eye on that on the sidelines. But Cyanide pushing forward here. Lion KK, now this is a killer. And that's what I'm talking about. That pro showdown looks like it's happening.
I love it. I want to see these pros go at it. I want to see a little vengeance, a little, maybe there's a little bad blood from the group stages and they want to take it out on each other. I'm okay with that.
Brazilian Crusaders, Rogi, the last guy up from his squad, and he's got 2 two duos that are sneaking up right next to him. That's kind of the thing about on this map. I almost said Vikendi. That's kind of the thing about Sandhawk. I'm just excited about Vikendi, man. I want to be on Vikendi. Anyway, so we got Sandhawk over here, and there's so many little like dips that you can hide behind, rocks. There's all this fauna everywhere. So whenever you look at it in a duos, it allows these solos to survive for so long, man.
Absolutely. You got Tweeday, Spreezy up here, Froz with his partner, T-Bone. Look, so far they haven't really seen each other too much. You know, Spreezy and Tweeday up on the coast there, trying to maybe look at this bridge. You've got two members, I think it's Ghost Star and Norcus, trying to cross that bridge.
There's a ton of players right in this spot. I think that we've got, I think it's 6 duos all right to the north of where this new circle has popped at. So MP5, 17 Syntax, they're in a good spot, but that's about it. Almost all the other players are going to have to make their way inside this new safe zone.
4 out of 24 Matchroom got inside the circle. The rest are going to walk through the gauntlet of death as they make their way towards the temple, which is now, I guess, a Temple of Doom.
Well, it's interesting, Sentex and 17 were pretty much the only ones who dropped on the west here. Wookie Bookie and his teammate as well went to Sanmi, but basically everybody else was on the main island on the east, and so it's going to be really difficult. And like you said, Toffees, there's going to be a gauntlet to get through.
I think you forgot my name for a second. That was hurtful.
I was going to call you Stevie, and then I'm like, well, that's
my bad, paper thick.
Well, while that was going on, we did see Spreezy get spotted out. So now Tweeday in a lot of trouble as they got the AW7 player on one side and T-Bone on the other. We're coming over here with Scoom now, and that's going to be a nice walk up, and Break gets taken down and eliminated in 27th place.
Wow, Scoom and Danik looking good here.
More importantly, Scoom versus Break. A little bit of old school action there. Some streamers, guys who've been around since the very beginning. You know I love nothing more than seeing Scoom get a headshot so we can all yell it.
Oh, we got Silent on the approach, hunting down the downed member of AW7. Gets eyes on the other one underneath of the building. And look at this, OMG is just on the hunt. And there you go. That's another set of kills coming out for OMG.
5 kills for these two players. A nice start for them, wiping out the Indonesia team, the Arrow Wolves. Scoom and Danik moving up towards this facility as well. Zhao Hai and the other member of OMG, they are safely within the circle, but they've got a couple teams pulling up on them.
Just as a reminder, if you're just now tuning in, we're doing our show matches because I'm willing to bet some of our competitive fans are popping into this like, why are we on Sandhawk and who are these people? We got some streamers, some personalities, some celebrities all hanging out, just having a couple of fun matches.
Yeah, hopefully let's get a check-in with the banana suits here in a little bit and see where these guys are. Remember, those of you just tuning in, we've got 4 guys dressed in yellow. They're worth $1,000 each, $8,000 for winning this thing, and of course, bragging rights among the streamers and influencers community.
Wow, Froz getting a kill for himself here. The analyst from the PEL.
Here we go. We've actually got the comms from Martin, Avenger himself. He's just like kind of describing what happened and how they can go about maybe trying to improve as they go through. I'm curious, is he actually like cursed? He's got the hands going.
He's got
like,
that Bobby Knight flavor going
this is the way you
now.
go. Gotta do this and you gotta do that.
They got that look on their face like, I don't know if this guy realizes that we're using remotes here. Martin, very serious. I wish I could hear those comms. Maybe next time we'll give it a shot. But back to Zhao Hai as he continues to cause trouble. Squeaky down there looking to fight back. 2 teams with high expectations. A little bit of a redemption potential right now.
Squeaky went for a nice reposition around the rocks. Here comes the Molotov. Remember, we do have extra bonuses coming out for Molotovs and melee kills, but Squeaky just gets pressed from 2 different angles, and that's going to be another OMG kill.
6 kills, that's $600 at least, assuming that they didn't get any of the other bonus prizes for killing some of our special players here.
Syntax.
Oh my goodness.
Syntax, he's going up a hill that he might not want to go up. And Spartan is just waiting for him. The spray comes through and Syntax goes down.
Spartan's got that Groza, making quick work of Syntax there, landing the headshot to finish off that kill. So great work here by Spartan and the member of MP5, one of our Taiwan teams.
A ghillie suit in Sandhawk is cruel and unusual punishment, especially when you're hiding around rocks and stuff like that. It's just like a shrubbery that just comes out and eats you.
As we wait for this headshot to take place, a quick shout out to the man with the Groza who chose not to do the tac reload. Remember, when you're playing at home, you don't always have to reload after the 4th bullet in case his partner had pushed up on top of them.
Well, the other 2 members of the Blue Bees got taken out, our Japanese team. They still have the other, Lively and KR10 are still up and running here. See if they can make it work, but there's a lot of teams starting to take some blue damage as this circle did hard shift to the west. Lively trying to find the headshot onto Froz with that SLR.
Froz is about to make a walk across a bridge he might regret. You got the BBs just sitting there waiting for them as they make the approach. You can see a lot of smoke's already gone down, so we know shots have been exchanged. Got T-Bone back behind him, so if you've been watching a whole bunch of competitive PUBG for a while, you guys should be aware of it. Froz, he keeps going for it, but I just don't think that he spotted him out. And here we go. This seems to be a running theme as it's OMG just tearing into another duo as Whitey Dude goes down as well.
OMG putting on a show here for the Chinese fans who are very excited about this. Now we're back to Lively. Oh, but he takes a shot at himself. Oh, no.
It feels like the OMG players have something they're wanting to prove. I don't know. Does it feel that way to you guys?
A little bit. I think they chose to grab a shark point, but a nice headshot from T-Bone. MP5 takes out 17. You hate to see it.
To be fair, he's a coach, so it's all right. You don't have to win the 1v2 if you're a coach, right?
Maybe. I think in that situation, maybe go for it. I do want to point out, Froz is stuck on a bridge. He chose not to drive across it because he knew he'd die if he did that.
That's a good call. If you guys are not familiar with Froz driving,
you can't watch, you can't drive. If I'm him, I swim because it may be the only safe option. Well, and he's going to go ahead and get in the water.
I love how Froz specifically knows we are going to ride him so hard if he gets into a car, so he has just opted into walking everywhere. Nice shots coming out from Clouds, and that's going to be Kaz getting down and immediately flushed.
Yeah, they were stuck in the blue for so long. You can still see his teammate Sigzy is in the blue as well, and he had no choice. He had to get in, and the other two members of OMG were just waiting for him.
That's kind of the thing that can happen on Sandhawk with the amount of rivers and the way that all these bridges cross over. You end up having to do a lot of foot crosses, swimming through. A lot of people just having to eat a lot of blue damage, so you can see them getting chunked out as they're just trying to figure out how to reposition through. And oh, Ghost Star, looks like he's still holding another angle, just waiting to see if anybody can come on an approach.
Yeah, he's got Froz and T-Bone coming up here as well. T-Bone back into the blue with Froz here. They don't like what they see. There's already some shots coming down. Froz taking a bit of damage, but the shot's not landing here from Norcus.
That was a nice little duck that Froz did to try to avoid the headshots. So now the problem is they're still outside and in the blue. So we got Norcus holding the angle. Ghost Star's just still sitting here, gatekeeping them out. But on the other side of the map, we have a huge fight that's popping off. We've got, 4 different duos all just stacked up on top of each other, and holding that funnel position is going to be OMG. Meanwhile, down towards the south, we've got Fuzzface, Uba, Rustamar, Trafeli, all looking back over towards Wookie Bookie as they're trying to make the approach up on this.
Oh, Wookie Bookie just able to get behind that tree, but his teammate Michael gets knocked as well. They're out in the blue, and they are hurting badly.
A little bit of an exchange. Both sides just trying to regroup for just a moment, but they've got to be very, very cautious. As you can see, it's a lot of EU versus EU action down towards the southern part of this map. A lot of little side fights happening as well. As you can see, Fuzzface gets taken down from, it's going to be the MP5 Spartan holding that angle.
Yeah, Uba trying to throw down some smoke, seeing if he can find a way to get over to Fuzzface. Fuzzface already knocked at least once. He's bleeding out rather quickly. Wookie Bookie having to abandon his teammate here, trying to find a safe way into the news circle. Uba, can he get up on this? He's got members events rolling up behind him.
I just love how Uba's like, no, okay, there's way too much third party that's going on. Let's just go ahead and go for the res, go for the reposition.
I think that's a 5-star Uba right there if I ever took one.
Oh,
no,
I'll give it to you, Tom. I give it to you.
James Kalaris is booing me over there. Yeah, all right.
Well, that's what we need to do. We need to get Kalaris on microphone just to sit up and judge us the entire time we're casting this.
You can just sit.
Wouldn't be toxic at all.
Just heckle. That's awesome. Oh. All right, Fuzzface is back up and immediately opens with a headshot on Trafeli. I guess that's how you want to say it. That's what you get for knocking me down in the first place.
I mean, we got Ince and Uba and Fuzzface all right next to each other, taking these pot shots back up towards MP5 Spartan. Oddly enough, we have 2 different MP5 duos that are in great positions holding this down, and somehow Cyanide has crawled his way inside this circle and managing to survive.
Silent Cyanide, VSSs, no comms, and sneaky snakes.
I want him to take this with the VSS so badly. I will go absolutely bananas. Get it? Because they're wearing bananas. All right, so Wookie Bookie doing some work on the ends here. I love this guy, Wookie Bookie. Here comes the grenade. The smokes are down. Will this connect onto Rustamar? Oh, I think it just missed. Oh, no,
there we go. Follows it back up, but we've got Uba and Fuzzface still holding down the top of that hill. Wookie Bookie's trying to make his way forward, but it's going to be some side shots. The third party, in effect, really hard in Sandhawk as everybody is trying to make their way up this hill. You can see every single time you take that shot, it's going to be somebody just taking a retaliation shot from a different angle.
MP5 doing a great job holding this hill, securing the southern flank. Now they're looking to move in. They feel pretty comfortable. Okay, they've kind of sensed that Fuzzface is down there. They could see that smoke. Fong trying to make sure that this rear angle is covered.
So with this, we have one member of AHQ right up next to two members of OMG. MP5 kind of looking back onto this. You can see Winner just right on the edge of this. The circle is going to be a little bit problematic for him to have to work with. He's got about another 10 or 15 seconds before he has to crawl forward. He's just trying to use the lip of that hill, and that's what you got to do on Sandhawk, man. You've got to use the terrain to your advantage. Use every rock, every hill that you can, but I gotta say, he's Xiaohai. He looks like he knows exactly where it's at. Cyanide's got himself some neighbors and perfectly fine with it. Let them defend him.
Just hang out. Just put that VSS on full auto and wait. That's what I want to see. I want to see Cyanide in this at the end. We're about to find out where our next circle is going.
You've got all of these Korean teams winning. You're not going to get the Cyanide thing.
Well,
what? The Cha?
What?
And nobody's even in this building complex. It's like Santa just came by early and was like, this is the building of destiny. It's even right in the middle of the next circle.
Nobody's even there yet.
Wow, why doesn't this ever happen to me in my Sandhawk games?
I know.
Wow.
Maybe it does. Maybe that's why I always lose, because somebody else is getting the double silenced AWM drop. That's hilarious. It's also funny that's an AWM because at this stage of the game, really?
I mean, what are you going to do with an AWM?
You put a red dot
style.
on it.
Yeah, put some red dots on. Just
What about a little, hipfire action with the AWM?
Right, well,
I'd love to see a hipfire headshot.
We've got influencers here. There's nothing they love more than a good 360 no scope, and the AWM's the perfect weapon for that. So maybe somebody gets over and gets a chance to grab it. That's it. We're down to 9 teams, 14 people alive, and the circle is getting smaller. It's go time.
I can't help but feel everybody is looking at that complex with the two crates like, that's a trap.
Yep.
I don't go there. So we might not even see anybody pick that one up, but it's going to be Spartan taking down Fuzzface on another angle. We weren't watching at the direct time, but MP5 just raining grenades back over next to OMG. That's one member down and flushed. Silence trying to be as silent as possible, finally taking a couple of shots, realizing he might be in a little bit of a rough spot. Running back behind the rock and does manage to make it over there.
Ooh, Miss You pushing up here, trying to finish off Silent. Silent able to find a little bit of cover for now to heal up. He is moving down the hill as well as Miss You because they have to get into this new circle pretty soon. There's still a little bit of time. There's still about a minute or so. And it looks like 10 kills here for OMG, Silent, and Xiaohai. That is crazy, 5 each.
They are having a hell of a game, to say the least, but they still have to walk through MP5.
No!
And Cyanide gets dropped
Come on!
finally. Poor Cyanide, no VSS, but we've got a 2v2 fight that's happening on the outside with MP5 looking like they're going to third party this. Scoom's trying to take the shots over, but down to 6 life as he's trying to retreat back over the hillside. There we go, MP5 walks up, finishes it off, goes for the flush as well. So now just one member caught between 2 different duos. There is nowhere to go. He is now eliminated, so it's Ghost Star and Norcus looking back over towards MP5. Looks like they want nothing to do with this fight, trying to use the buildings to get into cover.
Yeah, absolutely. They're trying to get around these buildings. Norcus fine taking a little bit of blue damage to avoid this onslaught from MP5. Silent still going here for OMG. He's trying to find a way in the circle. Oh, but he runs into Clouds. Clouds takes him down. A little team-on-team action there.
I love how you can tell the audience is confused. They're like, do we chill? What do we do? OMG versus OMG, how do we handle that?
We're not prepared for this emotional toll. Now Cloud's going to go ahead and get that shot off. Doesn't quite hit the head. Car 98 King with the silencer on it, though. If you can put a bolt in the head, that's an easy push for these guys.
MP5's holding a nice angle on 2 different sides of this circle. Oh, I guess 2 different areas. The circle doesn't have sides, Matt. What are you doing?
I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to leave the geometry for others to deal with.
I know. Like, you have to remember poor American brain trying to do math things here, guys.
And a math, and a geometry, and it's bad news bears. All right, so now we're done trolling ourselves. Let's take a look at Clouds and see if we can find something to troll him about. Down to 7 people left alive. Only 4 teams, a couple of solos, but MP5 has the high ground, Paper Thin.
Yeah, MP5 here, the members Miss You and Leo, they were very, very strong, especially Leo played very, very well in this tournament. Spartan, though, getting some damage, but he takes a shot here as well. He has to sit back down and heal himself, but he has that ghillie suit, and get that frying pan out. I want to see some frying pans start waving around.
Well, we have one of the teams from MP5 that has managed to make it down to the Buildings of Destiny. I mean, we have the 2 crates that are still down there that could be picked up. Miss You's not on the angle for it. Clouds is kind of gatekeeping back out Ghost Star at the time, so 2 teams, MP5 already in a great spot. It's really just a matter of, can the other 3 players even make it into the safe zone at this point?
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult here for those last 2 members, Norcus and Ghost. They're trying to find a way, and Leo trying to get some action going with that bolt action sniper. Ghost Star here trying to get onto Clouds, and a nice rip, and that'll finish Clouds off.
Now we've got Norcus, Ghost Star around the outside. MP5 hears this. They've been taking shots at MP5 as well. So Ghost Star, Norcus still playing along the outside, trying to figure out how they're going to make it inside this new safe zone. It's a very difficult approach, but you can see tons of rocks. So it's just about playing cover piece to cover piece. Nice little bit of sniping back and forth. You say sniping, but really it's like 150 meters.
Spartan's got that MK14. Leo trying to do some work with the Car 98 here. I think he landed a shot on the Spartan. Yes, he did. Nice shooting there from Leo. So Spartan have to use another first aid kit there. He's trying to come down the hill. Oh, Leo just missed that shot.
Separating out, going 2 different angles, trying to make sure that the sniper can't just stay right on top of him. Really draws the attention apart. So that's allowed them to make their way back down onto this. And the whole time that exchange was going on, Norcus and Ghost Star have been able to kind of sneak their way around the outside of this and make their way to the safe zone.
Yeah, Miss You has that compound right now, holding it down, but Ghost Star and Norcus, if they want to push it, he might be in a little bit of trouble. Leo's pretty far away from him. I mean, he can see Ghost Star and Norcus if they come down that hill towards the compound and give the information, but we'll see how this plays out.
A lot of smokes in plays. They're trying to make their cross over. It feels like they're just all going to be playing around this little complex. You can see Fong walks over there and sees the 2 crates for a second, like, wait, what? That doesn't matter. I need to kill these guys. I need to kill these guys. So now looking back
did you know these were here?
Just get them.
We should get these. Let's kill these guys and get these.
Let's do it.
Wall MVP.
Fong, he's only had 17 bullets left in that AK. Maybe there's some more ammo left in there. It doesn't look like anybody's really looted that building yet. Leo here still trying to keep the angles covered for Miss You, who has secured the compound. The other members of MP5 pushed in as well. You can see, oh, just missing that headshot is Leo.
I mean, okay, I jokingly called this the building of destiny earlier, but the circle just seems to agree with me at this point. Everybody's being slowly forced down into this. That means it's going to be a very interesting situation. We got a lot of bolt action rifles that are in play right now, and they're going to be moving into a very close range fight as this next circle is only about 100 meters around.
Yeah, Miss You throwing down some smoke so Leo can safely come in, but it doesn't matter. Spartan just tears him apart.
But look at the amount of ammo he has left in that AK, only 7 bullets. Now Fong is having to solely rely on this other assault rifle. Luckily, we're at that stage now. If you've got assault rifles, you're pretty much as strong as you want to be. Spartan taking a couple of shots back over towards Miss You as well. Ghost Star and Norcus have managed to get right up against the wall. So really, the team that was taking these long-range shots with Spartan, they're kind of the odd man out now, and they have to figure out how they want to make their way down, or even if they want to push down into this.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like he's going to try to cook a grenade into this building that Miss You's hanging out in. Norcus trying to make sure this building is clear as well. No damage really coming through there from Ghost Star onto Miss You. Miss You, the last member up for his green version of MP5. But oh
nice
my goodness!
Shot. Good Lord, I love that. Fog just gets dropped. That brings Spartan having to run back down. Here comes the grenades. Are they going to connect with it? And look at that. Does manage to pick it up.
2 pro teams versus a team that qualified from the FACEIT Showdown. These are guys who want to play at the highest level. What a great showcase for Ghost Star and Norcus as they are doing this, taking on the 2 sides of MP5.
How fun is this for them? They qualify through that FACEIT competition, and they get to play against 2 Taiwanese, or at this point, I think there's 2 Taiwanese players left. Yeah, 2 Taiwanese players left, 2 of the best in the world. This is really exciting stuff.
And oddly enough, we've got this road running right through the middle of everything. MP5, one part of their team. On the other side, well, it's weird whenever you say team, because yes, they're all on the same team, but now they're in different duos. So we essentially have MP5 brown on one side and MP5 green on the other side, with Norcus and Ghost Star just kind of waiting to see how the circle is going to play out. Naturally, we're still at phase 7, so we got one more circle we got to look at.
I don't think we're going to get the gentleman's agreement here where they pull out the pans. I think Ghost Star and Norcus want this.
There's extra money for melee fights,
exactly.
Man. Come on.
Whichever guy wins this, if they beat the duos team, then he gets to upgrade to first class and laugh at the rest of his team on the flight home. But Norcus and Ghost are outside the wall. I think they've got a pretty good position here because they have the ability to flex out to any side of the houses. The guys inside, they're locked and they don't have a lot of options.
This is going to be 35 seconds of everybody awkwardly staring around at different buildings, trying to figure out where any movement could be at, as neither one of the MP5 solos really want to move at this point. Ghost Star and Norcus are just like, why is it so quiet? What's going on? They don't have the best sight lines on what's happened. They got the down onto that one player, but Spartan has just become a bush. be one with the bush at this point, just right on the outside.
If you're wondering why it's gotten so sweaty and intense, it's because $8,000 is on the line, as well as the bonuses for wiping everyone else out. You got to play this tight. And of course, the guys who qualified from the FACEIT Duos event, they want to prove that not only did they qualify, but they're champions in their own right.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a moment of pride for them for sure. MP5, they're just going to rest on their laurels here. They don't want to get exposed. They've got these compounds. They need to see where the next circle goes. We've still got quite a bit of time, so we've probably got about 40 more seconds or so unless Norcus and Ghostar really want to push this and press the advantage.
I mean, this is just a team hanging out in every building right now. This is just Sandhawk things. We've all played this game of Sandhawk where you're just kind of sitting there and you're like, okay, I know that there's probably somebody in that building, and maybe there's somebody inside of that building. But until we finally get this circle to compress, and everybody has to make their way right into the middle of the circle, which is going to be right on that road, everybody's going to have to push out of their building. So right now it's just full defense inside of Sandhawk. People essentially going back to the oldest of PUBG strategies, hiding inside of bathrooms with weapons and waiting for somebody to walk in front of them.
Well, and it's really hard here for Norcus and Ghost because the buildings that the MP5 players are in don't have windows on the northerly sides here. So you can't really see it. You don't know what to expect.
I love how even the spectators are like, hey, let's look at a painting. It's moving more than our players right now.
All right, Norcus and Ghostar, we do have, okay, we get a TV as well. We're having technical difficulties. Please stand by.
No, that's actually in the game.
Yeah.
That's Ansvar's jump over when he gets a little bored. All right, I want to make sure. Those of you at home, we are not having technical difficulties, but Ansvar is saying this is some of the issues that MP5 had getting into the finals that we're going to be watching later today. A little bit of passive play goes a long way in getting you into a show match instead of the big six.
So let's be honest. We've got one duo up, two solos. Really, Ghostar, Norcus, they should be feeling pretty good at this point. They know that they got it down onto a member a second ago, so they know it's two solos. Meanwhile, MP5 is just not moving at all. That's just his place for all eternity. He's essentially just set up a shop over there. He's selling like candies. I want to know if anybody ever got those crates, by the way.
I don't think they did.
No one ever did.
Maybe somebody grabbed the armor out of it quick.
Wait, there was a bullet shot. Oh my God, it's been so long. So we've got Norcus taking a couple of shots onto it. And there we go. Spartan gets dropped. And now it's all onto Miss You. Got to find the right angle back over for it, but it does not matter. There we go. We got Team 12 coming up with the 7 kills.
How nice. How nice for them.
Yeah.
They came in here, like you were saying, through a duos competition, through FACEIT, and they get the win for the day. That's awesome.
Absolutely. I mean, saying that these guys, to be fair, are new to the competitive scene is a little bit of a stretch. We've seen them with teams in the past. Ghostar particularly a very good fragger, but they put in some phenomenal work here today. They even wore their Sandhawk shirts. I want to point that out on the back of their chair because they came ready to play. Congratulations to them with that $8,000 in the bank plus a quality feed from the kill count. But guys, we're going to take a short commercial break from myself, from Matchroom, from Paper Thin, and all of us here at FACEIT. Don't go anywhere because we're back in just a few minutes with Vakendi, baby.